Greetings, fellow classmates, Mr. King. My first initial thoughts on the video. I thought that was rather interesting. Now, without like sounding like, oh, I know this already. A lot of these things, I try to apply all the time. Like already, and have been doing. I work at a country club. I serve and bartend there. So working in the food industry. I think, yeah, like especially with the first point about like, I think it was like reciprocating stuff. We always have like little Andes mints that we have that we're supposed to drop in our checkbooks to give to our members. I noticed, early on while I was working there, that a lot of my fellow employees wouldn't often do that, just because sometimes we get busy and people just like, I don't have time, like they don't eat them anyway. Sometimes they really don't eat them sometimes, but they don't eat them anyway, yada yada yada. And I noticed that, and I was like, I bet if I even, like, who cares if they don't eat them? Like, the fact that I even offer them to them, I feel like they would appreciate, and therefore reflect in the tippage. And I mean, it's like, I didn't perform a study on it, so I didn't take numbers or, conduct any, some sort of experiment to see, but just comparably in my own mind, I knew that I was getting more, recognizing that I was getting more money by doing that than when I wasn't, and I'll write, a lot of times I'll write just thank you, just on the ticket sometimes. Something we started implementing, as a club, which is, kind of silly because honestly, people should just do this all the time. But, and again, especially like other restaurants, sometimes it doesn't happen. You have to like at more traditional chain restaurants, you have, ketchup and mustard and stuff on the table. At the country club, you usually would just kind of like, anytime somebody ordered fries, it's up to us servers and bartenders to take ramekins and fill them up with ketchup and take them out with us. The kitchen doesn't bother with that because they're too busy making food. So, what happens a lot is people will just, their food's up, they take their tray, run the food, and then they'll put it down. All right, guys, is there anything else I can get you? And then they have 4 people say, can I have some ketchup, please? And you're like, yes, of course. And then they go get it for them. It's no big deal. That's normal. But, if you take that opportunity for them having to ask away and just bring them the ketchup with their plate, and, here's your burger and fries, sir, and here's your side of ketchup. Yeah. Well, thank you. And again, I haven't done any sort of math or calculations on it, but the tips will be better. And, it's known, anyone who works in the service industry knows that when it comes to, when your money comes from tips, you learn to make them. You do what you can to go the extra mile. Conversate a little, make yourself known, humanize yourself a little bit. Make yourself not look like a robot who's just walking to the kitchen and bringing food to their table and bringing them the bill. No one likes to be brought the bill. So it's like, you might as well make it a little humane, put a little personality into it. And like when you're dropping the check, just so, they don't here comes our waiter with our bill. It's like, oh, here comes Thomas with the bill. Thomas, how you doing? It changes the world. And it makes the service industry kind of fun, in my opinion. I talked a lot about the first one, but the rest of the points in the video were all really good too. Persuasion, it's a really useful skill. I think it can be used maliciously, oftentimes, but not all the time. I'm gonna say like 90% of the time, it's one of your best skills in like any scenario, any workplace. One of the other points, I can't remember what it was which one was it was actually called, but it's always, it was, it reminded me about just being, kind of like what I was saying earlier, just about being kind, and less being, you know, the zombie filling your duty. Just, like, make it, you know, make it your thing. Just put a little bit of your own swing on it. Even when I worked, well, my first job, I worked at Hy-Vee as a cashier. And, you know, you know, for the first, like, first 2 months as a cashier, I'm sitting there, hi, how you doing? Good, how's the weather? Yeah, you go through the same script with every person because you got 6 people on the line, you know, during the rush. But, you know, I just thought that got old and it gets boring, and I'm sure everyone else agrees, and I know I can be a little bit more outgoing than other people oftentimes, because that's just who I am often. Maybe you guys won't think so in the classroom. I'm pretty quiet in the classroom, but, like, you add a little personality, put a little bit of your own swing on it, people will talk to you, and you'll find some people you don't like, that's for sure. And but then, you know, at a grocery store, at a restaurant, you know, you may not ever see them again, so what does it really matter? But, you know, for the people that you do see again, and you made an impact and an effort to, you know, just have, not like friendship, whatever you want to call it, just like being familiar with that person, it just, it makes everything so much better and so much more fun, because I bet you'll find way more people that you like before you find people that you don't like. But yeah, no, it was a really cool video. All the concepts of persuasion, all the 6 of them, all the 6 steps were really cool, and it was a really awesome video. I'm probably gonna recommend it to a lot of people. I'll probably save it in my watch later. But yeah, all right.